so I'm just learning the ropes of the lives. On the first live, we got all of, I think, 90 viewers. The second one, we got 240. It was a little bit later in the day, and so I'm doing another one a little bit later in the day, seeing if this time works best for everybody. The theme of this one is kind of like a fireside Q&A. We're sitting in these really nice Airstream chairs. Is the Sun Valley material here?
No, maybe. I don't think so.
Really nice sort of material, sturdy metal chairs, Airstream. Well, who makes this? Hold on.
Kuma?
Yeah, Kuma Outdoor Gear makes a really nice chair. We're sitting outside of the Classic 33. Oh, you got it, yeah.
Yeah, Airstream.
We're sitting outside of the Classic 33, which is Airstream's flagship model for travel trailers. And I'm just taking on questions about Airstream. So there's nothing off limits. It doesn't have to be about Airstream. But typical things that I'm assuming the question might be about are things like I've been posting content about generally Airstreams and Airstream walkarounds. That's the main one. Additionally, I've been posting about what it's like to be a GM, including some business-themed things. So those questions are also on the table. And then also, I've been, any questions, anything about me, about life, about the craziest customers, about stories. There's a lot of stories about weird customers that have come in and asked for maybe unreasonable things. Anyway, anything's on the table. So Brian, do you have any questions?
No, what got you into the RV business?
That's a great question. Thanks for asking. So for the RV, I used to own a landscaping company. So I'll give you my full history because, this is just filler in case anyone has a different question, but it might be interesting to people. And so let's start early on, because why not? I grew up on a family compound in Bethel, Connecticut. My grandfather built 5 houses around 2 ponds, and all my uncles and aunts lived there. It was a blue-collar family. My grandfather was a builder. My uncles took on the family business as builders, and I used to play with my cousins. I had probably 10 cousins, all lived with my neighbors. We used to play hide and seek across all 10 acres, across all my family's property, all neighboring each other in Bethel, Connecticut. I would hide in Danny's backhoe. That was a nice spot to hide in. In his garage, I would hide in the upper level, in his office area in the back garage. Never used as an office. I'm sure he didn't do any paperwork ever because this is Uncle Danny here. But I would hide up there with all the tools. Nobody would ever find me there. But getting back to home base was always tricky because it was so far away from home base. I digress. As I go on throughout college, I go to college to study biology because I was in love with nature. I love nature. And so I ended up going to grad school in ecology. I thought I wanted to be a professor. But then after I saw a professor, the guy who I was up to, who fulfilled the dream that I was looking forward to, I ended up feeling disenchanted by the idea of being a professor. He wasn't making enough money. He wasn't researching, which is what he wanted to do. He was spending too much time politicking and not enough time doing what he loved. And so if I'm not making enough money, not doing what I actually love to do, doesn't sound like a job that I really want. And so I went a different direction. Instead, I wanted to serve humanity. I wanted to take my ecological skills and apply it to landscaping, not to get too far in the weeds, pun intended. So I started landscaping with this idea that I'm going to transform New England's landscape into an Eden of sorts by selling people the idea that their home can be an Eden filled with like a beautifully designed landscapes that include edibles, so they can frolic through their own personal meadows and pluck ripe apples from their own trees and live a version of an ideal life, transform the landscape this way. Well, I realized later that didn't pay all that great, and so I needed to find a way to make more money and in a way that still sort of scratches my itch to live and be in nature. So I figured that after I owned a landscaping business for a while, kind of failed. I sold the business, but it wasn't really going that well. Decided to do the thing I was best at, which was selling. And I thought selling RVs would be selling freedom, would be selling nature, would be selling outdoor experiences. And so it has been a windy road, but it's been somewhat direct in the sense that my life's purpose has always really been about nature, freedom, outdoors, But in this sense, I am, allowing people to fulfill their dreams instead of imposing my dreams upon the world. And so that's on here today. And so 3 years ago, I started selling RVs, and just 3 months ago, I received this promotion to be the GM of Maine. I received this promotion because I was top 10 of all salespeople across all of Blue Compass in 2023, on pace for being top number 1 across all of Blue Compass for 2024 before I got promoted. And then my year got cut short in mid-October when I made the transition here, and now here I am, the GM of Airstream Maine.
Don't mean to cut you off, Adam, but guys, we're taking questions. So if you have any questions, whether to do with camping, campers, Maine, Adam, Blue Compass, Airstream, we're here. Just type them down below. We'll get to them.
Yeah. Yep. This is a live Q&A. It's a live Q&A about Airstream. It's a live Q&A about the RV life. A live Q&A about what it's like to be doing this right now. Whatever questions you might have about campers, about any of this, it's all welcome. Any other questions there, Ryan?
None yet. But Adam, what's your favorite Airstream model?
Wow, there's so many great ones. So I have a half-ton pickup truck, and I'm not really in the mood to change trucks right now. I looked at smaller trucks, looked at the bigger trucks. I like the half-ton. I feel like it suits me well. And so there's a wide variety of Airstreams that I could sell. Although my truck is a lot bigger than the capacity for the Airstream base camp. The base camp really does speak to me.
Can we go look at it?
Yeah, while we're here. So this is one of my personal favorites. So people go to the RV, go to RVs for different reasons. People go to camping for different reasons. Some people go to camping because of travel. I go to RVing because I came from a tent, and to me, the base camp is the sort of model of Airstream, which is most similar to tenting in the way of the experience that you get from it. And so I liken this shell to almost, in a sense, be housing what it's like to be inside of a tent. If you go inside of a travel trailer, you're getting something that feels like a traveling hotel room. But if you go into this, if you have a tent, it's all wide open, and you might either have a bed on the floor or a cot. And this, once we go inside, is almost going to mimic what it's going to be like to have a large tent with a cot and a grill on the side.
I find the best part about a trailer versus a tent is you don't wake up wet when the dew comes through.
Yeah.
That's the number one reason why I like it.
That's an amazing reason. Another benefit of a trailer over a tent is the loading and unloading of all of your stuff. When I was tent camping, I had a space in my garage that was dedicated specifically to all of the stuff that I need to bring camping. And sometimes that stuff would go missing. Maybe I would need something from that upstairs, and then there'd be pieces missing from my camping set. And then when I'm planning for my trip, I have to go find all of the things that I needed for my trip. Here, I just put everything for my camping trips inside the RV, and I leave them there. And then that makes it so that when I'm actually en route to go on my trip, I just hitch up and I go. It's a lot easier than having to have a dedicated spot inside your precious real estate in your garage. So let's head on into the 20X. That's so you can see what I mean when it comes to it being almost similar to what a tent is. And what I mean by that is you have a wide open floor plan here. You know, it's not like you have different rooms and different things set up. I think of this like, what if I had a tent that was about this size? It would have a similar sort of feel, but with lots of upgrades and advantages. So here, all of this converts into a bed. And so you get a bed that comes all the way to here and all the way to the back. And so, like, I like to have a nice big bed so that when I'm sleeping with my family, with my wife, we have plenty of space, you know, and this material of what you sleep on, even that is much more similar to what you sleep on when you're going camping. This whole experience is much more similar to tenting, And you'll find that with the people who buy base camps, they're going to be a lot more similar to tenters rather than people who like to travel in hotels and such. But you do get lots of creature comforts here still. You know, it's not much better than tent with so many ways. You got the nice big stainless steel sink with the modern faucet there too. And they give you the cutting board that fits really snug in there. So that really adds to that cutting space. It's not a cutting board that sits on there sloppily. It's going to move around on you. That's going to stay put so you can actually chop vegetables on there. And then you have your propane cooktop all built in. The propane tanks are in the front, plenty of capacity to cook everything that you need on your griddle there. But one of my favorite things is, of course, all of the windows. I know that we're in an indoor showroom, so we don't have the natural light coming in, but when we're outside and you have that natural light coming in, you're getting all of the experiences of being outdoors, even when you're on the inside of this Basecamp 20X. You have the nice blue interior for this one too, and I love what they do with the aluminum all over the place. Aluminum walls, aluminum ceiling. It really makes you feel like you're in this sort of modern feeling jet submarine thing. They do lots of storage all around too. You can see all of this is more storage, more storage, more storage. Plenty of space to leave all of your things in between your trips, like I was talking about. And then you gotta see the bathroom. You always gotta see the bathroom. And so this is the bathroom. Look, I'm 6'1", 6'2", and I'm actually standing up in this bathroom. You know, I'm actually standing up in this wet bath, this shower. So the shower gets mounted over on this side, and I can actually take a shower. This is the biggest shower that you'll find in any Airstream travel trailer from 16 foot to 30 foot. You have to go to a classic 33 to get a shower where I can actually stand up in, and that's a lot of money. That one's MSRP is over $200,000. This here, you're looking at something like, I don't know, 70 grand. So less than half the price, and you're getting a shower this size. I think that's really nice. Any questions there yet?
No, not yet.
This is a live Q&A. We're taking on questions from people. Anything about camping, anything about Airstreams, anything about what it's like to be in Maine. Any questions at all? So let me know what questions you have. Over here you have the dinette. The dinette is really amazing. I mean, look how much space you have. The design of it I really like too, how it's got curved all the way around to match the shape of the unit. You can sit how many people here? Probably 1, 2, 3, 4, potentially 5 people. And what I love about the layout on the whole is that you have the dinette on this side, and then you have the couch slash dinette slash bed on the other. And what's great about that is you can leave that side made as a bed, and then you can leave this made as a dinette. And so one of the primary complaints people have of the 16X, well, that 16X does not have the front dinette. And it doesn't have the front dinette so that you have to make and unmake that bed every single day. And that gets to be a pain for some people. And so if you're out for a week long, you might just want to leave that bed made for a week. Leave that bed made, sit this dinette, use your kitchen, use your bathroom, use your refrigerator, and you can use this whole thing for a week without having to make that bed up and down all the time. That's why if I was to get something, even though I have a half ton and I could tow something bigger, I'd probably end up going with this, because this one, I would say, makes the most sense for me and my family. Live Q&A. Would you have any questions, Ryan?
Oh, right. What is the one word that you would use to describe Airstream? Just one word. Can't be two. It's got to be one.
The only one coming to mind is quality. You know, like quality is the name of the game with Airstream. Quality is what drives all of their manufacturing. It drives all of their innovation. They don't make any changes. They only make upgrades. You know, and they do that because everything in their factory process is quality minded. If you were to go into their factory and compare it to Jayco or Forest River or whatever else, if you go to Jayco, you see these technicians in the factory, these factory workers, who are slapping these things together, going for speed, going as fast as they can. The body movements are big and fast and all over the place. Wild. It's wild there. Airstream factory is much more controlled, and you can see that the quality, in terms of the quality control, is built in to the factory, even their incentives, how they incentivize their workers. Every single step in the factory line, they are checking the work of the previous group of people to make sure that there was no mistakes made along the way. And as somebody who sees RVs all the time, I've worked at an Airstream dealership, and I worked at a dealership that sells everything besides Airstream. And when we get anything besides Airstream in, or some other brand, as I've heard before, those SOBs out there, when you get an SOB, what you get is hit or miss. Sometimes it'll come from the factory, and it might have a problem. You know, it might have sawdust laying out. It might have screws that are just, oh, where did those go to? I'm sure, Ryan, you've seen it too.
No doubt.
We have screws just laying around. Where did that go? I don't know. Throw the screw away. You know, like, why is there a mystery screw in this drawer? You know, you just kind of forget about it and move on with your day. Airstream, I haven't found an Airstream with a screw in the drawer. I haven't found an Airstream with excessive sawdust all over the place. And that's because the quality control is built in. Airstream, in terms of their quality, at their factory, they're going to do a rain test on every single unit. They're going to dump more rain on this unit than Seattle gets in an entire year. More water goes, it's pressure, it's all over. This side, that side, front, back, from the top, from all over to make sure that there's no leaks in it whatsoever. As that water test is happening, you have little Johnny inside with a flashlight making sure that there's no leaks anywhere. And trust me, Johnny wants to find those leaks. He's like, you know, you give Johnny a job, and he really wants to do that job really, really well. He wants to find that water is coming out. And if he does find water, guess what? Back to the beginning. They're going to find where that water came in from. They're going to fix that issue, and then they're going to deliver to us perfect. As perfect as perfect can be.
So I got a question for you. What is your favorite hidden nugget? Like that one thing Airstream does that nobody else does, you're like, wow, this is amazing. I wish everybody did this.
Wow, the Airstreams. Well, my favorite thing about Airstreams, I would say, is probably the towability. And I wish all RVs were easily towable. As I said before, I own a landscaping business. I've towed a lot of different things. I'm not scared of towing anything. But I do want to have as comfortable an experience as possible.
Can you show us?
Absolutely. So we're talking about the Airstream towability right now. And the primary place I like to show the Airstream towability, I know, believe it or not, it's a strange thing, but it's going to be near the axle. And if you were to see where the Airstream sits relative to the axle, is that the floor is literally just above the wheels. Other brands, you might see the floor might be 9 inches above the wheels or even higher, and you're not going to get this overlay over here. And what that means to me is that Airstream has a low center of gravity. And the low center of gravity makes it so that when you're going around the turns, you're not going to have that topsy-turvy experience that you get with the other brands. It's going to be way more grounded and attached to that ground. So low center of gravity is a key thing. And then on top of that, for towability, you have the shape of the Airstream in general. So the shape is going to be the same shape you see in airplanes, the same shape you see in submarines, the same shape of things that you can see that are aerodynamic in nature. And so whether it's the front that's gently rounded all the way around that minimizes drag, or if you look over the side that also has that curved, rounded shape. I know it's slight, but you're getting that slight bend in along the side. And that slight bend in is making it so that you have wind that's going to roll over the side of the unit a little bit more so than just flap it and making it act like a sail. And so you're going to get a little bit less, so the tail wagging the up. So you're going to get a little bit less sway, you're going to get less drag, you're going to get that lower center of gravity. So when you go camping, there's two parts. There's the part that everyone likes, which is camping, and this is the part that people usually don't like so much, which is the towing it to the place. And your vacation is not just about the destination, it's also about the journey. And the journey, you want to have as good of an experience as possible. And Airstream knows this. And they have always built the most aerodynamic and most easily towable unit on the market because they know that the journey is just as important as the destination, especially when you're towing a, 30-foot long unit. When you tow something of this length, you're going to want those aerodynamics. I've towed all sorts of things, including a 33-foot box. And that 33-foot box, when you get those winds on the highway, it's going to move the back of your truck. And, you know, if you're not experienced with towing, you're going to be holding on for dear life. And you're going to be, like, trying to control your truck, and you're panicking because you think your trailer is going into the other lanes, which it might be. And as such, it feels like it's unsafe. You're going to be a lot more safe during your journey with the Airstream. So my favorite thing about Airstreams, 100%, is towability.
All right. Toughest question of the day. If you purchased an Airstream, what would you name it, if you named it?
Wow. Depends on which Airstream it is. I'm leaning towards buying a 20X. What does this 20X look like to me? To me, the 20X looks like a male. The trail looks like females, but the base camp to me looks like a male. Gerald.
Gerald.
Yeah.
Folks, what would you name your Airstream? That's a good question. What would you name yours?
Yeah, let us know in the comments. What would you name your Airstream?
I think the most popular, Casper.
Casper.
We've seen.
Casper in the service bay right
do.
now. They actually put the Ghost a sticker right on it. I think it's probably covering up the dent or something they got on there. But either way, they have a Casper dent right on there. Let's go check some more stuff out. So we're doing a live Q&A. The purpose of this is to get questions out of people about Airstreams, about RVs, about the differences between Airstreams and other RVs, about what RV that you have and how the features of an Airstream compare to that, about camping in general, about dealership life in general.
Adam, where are we located?
We are located in Lebanon, Maine. Lebanon, Maine is just over the border of New Hampshire. Let's hang out in here for a second.
Perfect.
So we're just outside of Rochester, New Hampshire, and so if you wanted a location relative to cities, we have Boston is an hour and a half away or so. We have Portland is probably, I don't know, less than an hour, and then Portsmouth would be a little more than a half hour. I'd say 45 minutes, somewhere in that range. Half hour, okay. So kind of a nice trifecta away from a lot of different cities that are out there. Currently we're in the Tradewind. The Tradewind has the terracotta interior, this one does, so most of the time Airstream's going to go with two different colors, a mild and a wild. This one's going to be the wild color. To me it reminds me of autumn foliage. It's like a maple, like a red maple leaf in autumn. And so people in New England, we love our maples, you know, there's a lot of maples in New England. And this almost represents that beautiful time of year that people all flock to New England for. Speaking of New England, we're in Maine. Maine is vacation land. And so that's why even in the winter in Maine, we've had very good volume. A lot of people have bought from us. We've exceeded expectations. And I think one of the things I learned the most from this is that people are willing to travel to Maine to purchase their Airstream. And it makes a lot of sense. There's a lot of things to see in Maine. A lot of people have never been to Maine. A lot of people, for some reason, maybe because you don't really pass through it to go anywhere, a lot of people have never been. They really want to see it. They really want to see our Harbor, Maine and Acadia National Park. They really want to see the beaches. They really want to see where the Bushes have their estate. In I think Kennebunkport, they have that. So there's a lot of things to see here. Botanical Garden, I love the Botanical Garden in Maine, one of my favorite places. But we're in the Tradewind right now. The Tradewind is a new offering. I think 2024 was the first year. And the big thing about the Tradewind is that it's best for dry campers, best for off-grid, best for being able to use everything in this RV off of the batteries alone. There's three 270 amp hour lithium-ion batteries, battle-borne batteries, that are right underneath, right in the middle. I was mentioning the towability before. Where they put the batteries in this are specifically designed to maximize towability. They put them right underneath the axles. I think in the 25s, they're right in front of the axles. So it's centrally located, so it's not going to throw off your balance of the trailer. And they're underneath so that you are keeping that weight grounded. That low center of gravity is really important for Airstreams, really important for towability. We're doing a live Q&A right now, so if you have any questions, let me know. Anything about Airstreams, RVs, RV life, heck, van life, you know, people like the vans. We got a van over there.
Yeah.
Trying to go to a van?
Let's do it.
Let's go check out the van. Yeah. How many people watching here, Ryan?
We have 0 at the moment.
Okay.
We had a bunch.
Don't you worry.
They're coming.
What's the most we had?
I believe we had 7 or 8 at one time.
Nice. Is that early on?
Oh, yeah.
Nice. I'm going to show you the range line. This range line is a 2024. The 2024 that has 7,000 miles on it, so it's a pre-owned. There's not that many new 2024 range lines out there anymore, actually. This is you can't really find these. New range line, depending if it's a pop top or the non-pop top, probably run you, the MSRP, I should say, is either 170 or 160,000. This unit is going for 109,900. So it's about $110,000. So you're saving, $50,000 from the MSRP of a new one. And so very good value here with the pre-owned range line. It's in very good shape. Let's do a full walk around. Why not? You have a manual awning. The manual awning comes out, and then the arms will attach right here. And so that makes it so that you're going to be able to have your campsite very easily. The way the bed folds up, and I'll show you that, makes it so that you can store your outdoor rug in here very easily. So you can have your campsite very easily made with the range line. You get the 2-wheel drive range line here, but many people aren't camping in the winter anyway, so why do you need that 4-wheel drive that everyone talks so much about? They build in the windows right into the range line too. And so you get windows on both sides. This is where the bed is. And so you're going to get great cross ventilation once you open both those windows there. Then the back, I'm going to open up so you can get a safety on the inside. No, it won't, because it's locked. You got a backup camera there. The backup camera actually goes right to the rear vision camera. The rear vision camera is in the rear view. And so that always stays on as you're in drive, so you can always see behind you. And it's not taking space in your big infotainment screen. And so you can have your camera and your infotainment separate screens. And I love it. Why would you not do that? I hate it when the camera's all locked up in that infotainment. I can't change the radio because I'm too busy looking at the camera. Airstream's all going to have the smart plug. Smart plug 30 amp. Super easy to plug and unplug. Unplug that. Plug it back in. 27 times more metal-to-metal contact with smart plugs. The sewage is all in one spot, easily located. You have the gray valve and the black valve. Super easy to access right there. And you have this panel that is a hidden panel. Behind it is some of your connections, so they're not messying up the back side of your camper with all sorts of connections. They hide them behind the panel. So you have your black tank flush, which is conveniently located relative to your valves. Your city water, and then you also have a spray port right there as well. And this comes right off. It's a magnet. You can put it wherever you want that to be.
Let's open that back door up. Should be unlocked. The beauty of live TV.
Live TV.
Yeah.
Unlock the doors. Yeah.
There you go.
You got it, Ryan.
Yeah. Wow.
So we open the back up, and you can tell this is definitely a camper van. This is not a camper van. So you got the bed right on top there, and the bed does fold up super easy. You can see, let's get started here a little bit. You see that can fold up. You can demonstrate that in a little while, but even with the bed down, there's so much storage under here. Imagine all the suitcases, the luggage, the totes, the outdoor rug, anything you want. And then if the bed is up, you can actually even strap things down right here. There's 2 strapping points, one there and one right behind it. And that makes it so that you can definitely strap down your bike, your e-bike, whatever you need to strap down. You can strap it down. You can also use the molly panels over here too to strap it down, not just to the back, but also to the sides. And then people also, yeah, there's nice metal there. And people also have little bags that they can put right on the molly panels. So that's a nice feature there. Battery disconnection, a convenient spot. Other brands that I've seen, instead of having the connections on the outside for water, well, other brands will put the city water connection on the inside, which doesn't make any sense because you need to open your van in order to connect to water. Well, what if you don't want to open your van? What if it's raining? I don't know. There's a lot of reasons you wouldn't want to open your van, the back of your van up. And so the connections on the outside, we have the fresh water tank over here. So you can just fill that up, close that back up, and then you can still camp with the doors closed. All right, let's go to the front.
Let's do it.
This is a live Q&A. The purpose of this is to receive questions. If you have any questions about the Airstream, then feel free to let me know. We're going to head on in to the range line.
Car picnic time.
Car picnic time. My favorite thing about the Airstream range line is the car picnic. And so you could swivel this out, and it stops in a few different spots. You can stop there, or it can stop there, or if you were to move those chairs, you'd be able to stop at this angle as well. The chairs do swivel, and so once you swivel those chairs, you have this here too. You have plenty of space for a car picnic for up to 4. When you're traveling on the road, there's going to be plenty of experiences. We just want to stop in a drive-through and grab something and then eat in the parking lot. I mean, I've done that 1,000 times in my truck with my family, but the problem is that everybody has to face front in my truck, and so it's hard to have a nice meal with my family in a car picnic in my truck. Here, since these seats swivel, and we have this really nice long table here, we can actually have a car picnic. We can actually have a family meal inside of my camper van. And also you got the windows here, there, you get the max air fan, so there's no reason why you wouldn't be very comfortable sitting here in your camper van. And then when you're done with your food, you have your refrigerator back there, so you don't have to worry about eating everything that you had. You can just go back and put it right in the fridge and hit the road again. Speaking of the fridge, it's a 12-volt fridge, and the 12-volt fridge is nice because it pairs well with the lithium-ion battery. It's a 270 amp-hour Battleborn battery. Same battery that they put into the Tradewind, but in the Tradewinds they'll have 3 of them. In this one they have 1 lithium-ion Battleborn battery. Other things about the range line is that, I mean, the seats are just something that you can't talk enough about. So these jumper seats, they have more depth than probably like 3-4 inches more than the competition. But as such, you're going to get a lot more comfort out of that. I'm an adult. I'm 6'2", and I can sit here very comfortably. I can sit here for 8, 10, 12 hours. I don't have a driver to drive me. I'm the driver, obviously. But if I was to sit back here, I'd be very comfortable. I have an 8-year-old son. If he sits back here, guess what? He's really comfortable. You know, he has his tablet here. He's playing his games here. He's eating his snacks here. He's just doing everything here. And he likes to be close to us. So Mom is there, I'm there. And so he's right in the conversation with all of us. And so we're having a good time as we're traveling down to, I don't know, Nashville, Tennessee. So that would be amazing. They still have the traditional Airstream things, like you have the aluminum ceiling here in this camper van. That's going to be an Airstream exclusive. The aluminum ceiling is important because you don't get any of the odors that stick in, like those wallpapery or those soft, touchy ceilings. I know they're nice and everything to touch something soft. How often are you touching the ceiling anyway? Probably never, right? Like, it's a lot nicer to have something that's going to be odor resistant, stain resistant. It's never going to come down. It's put in with these rivets. Are those rivets going to go bad? Like, no, the rivets aren't going to go bad. Rivets, the Airstream's put together with rivets, the same thing as the Golden Gate Bridge, also put together with the buck rivets, the same style of rivets in the Golden Gate Bridge as with the Airstream. So, of course, these are aluminum. Those are steel, but either way, same sort of technology. I'm going to head to the back because I like to lay down in the live. Anybody with us?
Nope.
Anybody been poking in lately?
Nope.
Wow, it's just us here, huh?
No one here but us mice.
Wow. Well,
that looks pretty comfortable.
Yep. Oh, and I can lay straight too. That's
yeah.
one of the key
So the
things.
funny thing about this is everyone always says, oh, that can't be comfortable because it's not that big of a mattress. What people don't understand is there's a wooden sort of like bow in there that actually gives you a little more comfort, a little more flex than what you'd think, which is really unique.
Yeah, it is actually very comfortable. There's nothing stopping me from taking a nap in this. I'm kind of tired right now anyway, so I guess that would make a lot of sense.
Yeah.
But I could definitely just, like, if you were to shut these lights off and you take the camera away, like, I could nap it. In 5 minutes I'd be sleeping.
It's amazing.
So, very comfortable. Yeah. And this does have the pop-top option too. With the pop-top option, you can sleep up to 4. And so you sleep 2 here comfortably. Me and my wife can sleep in no problem. And then the pop-top, it's a really big bed. It's a long bed. It's a bed that is not, like, any 2 people on the face of the earth, I guess, unless they're 500 pounds. I don't know what the weight capacity is, but the vast majority of 2 people can sleep up on the pop-top. And it's also nice because when you have the pop-top, I wish I had one here to show you, but we sold it immediately when we got it. It's almost like you're in a tree house. You're up above everything else, and you have great views all around you. You're higher up than your neighbors, but you also have the tent sides. You can unzip the tent sides, and you get lots of airflow blowing through there. It's just like you're tent camping, but you just happen to be in this really nice camper van, and then you can shut that up super easy, and you can close it up, and you can go, and you can just drive away. You don't have to worry about packing up that tent, rolling it up tight, and then and then storing that someplace in your house. And I don't know how many times I've rolled up a tent and had to smush it down into the bag that's too small for it, and how much time I've spent struggling with that. Here, when you have the pop-up tent, it just folds down, and it's just good to go. Another key thing with the Rangeline is you get lots of storage, and so they're with these passive lock style storage hinges and locks. You're getting a lot of extra storage. There's no less than 27 storage compartments in the Airstream Rangeline, and so you have you're gonna have stuff that you're gonna want to bring with you every time you go camping, and so you're going to have a spot for literally everything. You're gonna have a spot for everything. Looks like they might have added something here. I'm just seeing this now. They didn't want to hit their head, I guess.
No, who wants to hit your head?
No, nobody wants that.
What about the door in the bathroom? That's pretty unique.
Yeah, this is a timbered style door. It's waterproof. You close that, and then boom. And there's a little magnet here. It feels like it latches kind of tight, and that makes it so that you can take showers comfortably without having to worry about the water getting all over the place. And let's see if I can fit in this shower.
I think you can. It'll be tight, but you'll get in there.
So, I'm a little bit tall. So,
tall.
But that's why we have this seat here, so I can sit in the toilet and take a shower, and then from here I can use the wand and do everything I need to do in order to shower up there. Live Q&A. We're taking questions on any Airstreams. I know there's a lot of people out there interested in van life. The vans are one of the biggest curiosities. People will come in here looking at Airstream travel trailers and they say, "I just have to see the van. I just have to see the van." And so right now we're seeing the van. Another key thing about the van is that it does have a generator on board as well. It is a quiet generator, only 2800 watts. It's all that you need to run this. And you can power it on the control panel up there. The control panel has auto gen start right on it. And so you can program the generator to kick on automatically under certain conditions. And that makes things super easy for you. Like if you're going away from the campsite, maybe you're camping at a beach and you want to spend the day at the beach, but you don't want your batteries to run dry. You can set the generator to come on automatically if the battery gets too low, and so that makes it so that you don't have to worry so much while you're out and taking your vacation. That generator will bring that battery back up to full charge, and then it will shut right off automatically too. And so it makes it so that you don't have to bring your jumper pack with you. You don't have to worry about that. I'm showing the screen here.
Yeah, let's show the screen. Imagine you're at the beach. The sand flies. They're going crazy.
Yeah.
You want to eat lunch on your car picnic.
There it is. So one big thing about the screen is that airflow is so important. So you have the windows up front, but those don't have screens. And then you've got a window there and two small windows in the back that have a screen. But if you have this big opening, and then you also have the back, which has a mesh roll down, if you have both those open, you might as well be outside, the amount of airflow that you have. And that's why a lot of people like these things. They like to feel like they're outside, even when they're inside of their camper van. And so this is something really nice for people to just easily get in and go. Everything, you just leave it all in there. You get your key, you turn on your camper van, and then you just go. It's that easy to go camping when you have a camper van, and you don't have to use it for camping. Like I said about the car picnic, like if I'm going on a day trip to Maine Botanical Gardens, it's an hour and a half away, I'm not going to spend the night anyplace, I'm just going to take my trip up there, I'm going to take my camper van. If I have the choice between my camper van and my truck, I'm taking this instead so that I can ride there in luxury, so I can ride there, not having to worry about when my son's going to be able to use the bathroom. I can bring his sandwiches with me so I don't have to pay extra money for all of this going out to eat and everything. Overpriced food for not much. You can just make your sandwich here, leave it there, and have your car picnic. So I love the camper van. Once I get the accolades of success and the wealth, I'm going to invest in the camper van. Now I'm going to stick with my 20X base camp because that's the sort of budget I'm at. But one day I'm going to get a camper van. I'm going to get probably like a Rangeline. I would need the jumper seat, because my son likes to be up with me when we're driving, he doesn't like to be way in the back. And so this is gonna be perfect for us. Airstream does make other vans too. They make the Interstate 19, the Interstate 24, a couple different floor plans for Interstate 24, and of course they make the Atlas and the 19X, 24X, all sorts of different floor plans. So whatever van you're interested in, Airstream makes an option. Their option is going to be tailored to exactly how you're going to be using it. And so how you're gonna be using your van is gonna help us dictate, guiding you through the process of selecting the perfect Airstream van for you. The Airstream van is going to be better than any other van in the market at its price point. It's going to be a little bit more money than something like an Integra, a little more money than a Jacob, a little more money than a Thor, pound for pound, but you're going to get a lot more from it, and you're going to get all the Airstream quality I was talking about, all that Airstream factory processes, all of that is built in to the Airstreams. And so quality, like I said before, is the name of the game with the Airstreams. Keep on going around. Anybody on there? Perfect. What time is it?
It is 4:48.
No. So I think it's about time to wrap it up. We started this around 10 after 4. I've been doing these lives and just to sort of see at what time of the day we get the most traffic. It's seeming like after 5 o'clock we're going to get the most traffic. If it is the case that you can see this after the fact, I think that you can. Let me know in the comments what time would be best for you for a live, and that would inform me on when to do these. I plan to do these probably 3-4 days a week, as long as Ryan feels like it's acceptable for him to waste his time with holding this phone.
Nonsense, it's
Yeah.
fine.
But again, if you watch this after the fact, or if you're here right now, please do like my content. Please subscribe. It goes a really long way. Thanks for watching.